Hello everybody! Today's screencast is going to be about fairy tales and Proto-Indo-European, or PIE. Once upon a time, there were two brothers, Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm. They were born in Hanau, Germany, in a village not far away from Frankfurt. They lived at the end of the 18th century. They came from a very big family, but when their father passed away when Jacob was only 11 years old, they had to move. They got the chance to study law, but when their mother passed away as well, they had to quit studying because they had to support their little brothers and sister, so they became librarians. The two brothers are so different, yet so complement to each other. Wilhelm Grimm is much warmer than his very introvert brother Jacob. But Jacob is physically stronger because Wilhelm suffers from a weak heart and asthma. Jacob is also more academic, and he loves language and grammar, while Wilhelm is a professional in literature. But what did they do? Well, they were story collectors. Do you remember Cinderella? Hans and Gretel? Snow White? And the Frog Prince? Well, they collected all those fairy tales in only one book. That book is called the Kinder- und Hausmärchen, which was published in 1812. They collected these fairy tales and folk tales because they just, loved German folklore. Why not? The Kinder- und Hausmärchen consisted of 86 German fairy stories. But it was not suitable for children at all. They were called earthy tales. Earthy tales are like very horrific tales. They had wolves in it, evil women, evil mothers, witches, etc. The first English translation of the Grimm's collection was published in 1823. Afterwards, because of the success and because Europe was in a literature bloom, they selected 50 of the most popular tales. They refined them and softened them, and they made it a lot cheaper. They called it the Kleine Ausgabe, published in 1925, or the small edition. Professors? Were they professors? Of course they were. They had such a big influence on linguistics. They made theories of languages and grammar. They found out that there's a relationship between similar words of different languages and that words change sound over time. They called it the Grimm's Law. It was their little baby. Phonetic shifts are made in German languages, and traced vowel shifts in various European and Aryan languages. Conclusion? All languages are linked to a common root, so they all come from one single place. Very well. What else? In 1819, the Deutsche Grammatik was made. It is a scientific methodology and sound basis which was very important. In 1838, they made the Deutsche Wörterbuch. It has the same value as a dictionary. They recorded info about the history and usage of every German word, which are, quite a lot. But sadly enough, they didn't finish because they passed away. Luckily enough, they had their friends. An army of academics did finish the book. After more than a century and 32 volumes, they completed the work. The book has about 350,000 entries and weighs about 84 kilos, which is a lot more than I weigh. Remember the Grimm's Law? The common root? Well, it says that all languages, the 6,000 languages that are spoken today, have the same origin. For example, French, Italian, etc., they all come from Latin. The Deutsche Grammatik traces all languages of Europe and some of Asia and northern India, and it comes to one single language, Proto-Indo-European or PIE. Consonants of different Indo-European languages relate to each other. For example, P and F. P from Sanskrit, Latin or Greek, and F from English and German and Dutch. Due to migration, the PIE or the Proto-Indo-European splits in different dialects and afterwards even develops in different languages. Nowadays, there is a big homogenization of languages, which spells the death of micro-languages. After all, we can say that the Brothers Grimm didn't only collect fairy tales, they had a really big influence on the linguistics that we use nowadays and that we study nowadays. Thank you for watching.